Well, today is one of those days that you have to be weather aware out there. It is the peak of severe weather season, and the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has a level 4 out of 5 in the red shaded color here, a moderate risk of severe weather where significant and intense severe thunderstorms are likely, if not expected, later on this afternoon and into tonight across Kansas. But the slight risk of severe weather, level 2 out of 5, extending up here into the northern plains, into the Dakotas, and into Nebraska, parts of Iowa, and even into Missouri as well. So if you do want to stay updated on your latest weather forecast and information regarding severe weather, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below here to my channel, Weather on the Go. Also, be sure to press the like button down below. It definitely helps to get this information passed along to more and more people, especially talking about severe weather. So let's look here at the probabilities. We have a 45% chance for some significant damaging winds here. This could turn into a derecho. The Storm Prediction Center mentions that in their synopsis here this morning, that 75 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts may be possible today in central and eastern Kansas and parts of northwestern Oklahoma. So you need to be on high alert as we go through the day here. And just walking you through the derecho environment, we typically have a strong ridge of high pressure across the southern U.S. here. Not exactly what this map is showing with the high pressure in the southeast, but you get the idea where you have the airflow around the high pressure system is clockwise, and you get those serial, if not progressive derechos. The progressive derechos are the most dangerous. And looking at derecho frequency by month here, May is actually the leading month for derecho frequency, up to 22%. In June, that drops to 20% and then spikes back up here again later in the summer to a 21% in July. So yes, May is the leading month here. And in Kansas, the area that has that moderate risk for a derecho today has a derecho every 2 years, typically according to climatology, and one derecho every year, typically in southeastern Kansas. So it is not super infrequent that they get derechos, but it definitely isn't always common either. So looking here at the severe hail risk, we do have the threat for some very large hail, over 2 inches in diameter here from central Kansas down into northwest Oklahoma. That is hen egg size or larger today, and that could also foster a threat for a few rotating supercells that could produce a few tornadoes, especially there again into Kansas and northwestern Oklahoma. Let's look at the setup here for today. Dew points advecting north from the Gulf of Mexico into the 60s here. It's a muggy atmosphere. You can tell as you walk right out your door in Kansas or Nebraska or Missouri or Iowa this afternoon. It is very muggy outside. The moisture is on the rise. Looking at those CAPE values, your convective available potential energy, that is also on the rise. This is thunderstorm fuel, and this is over 2,000 joules per kilogram here. So let's walk through this afternoon. Isolated coverage of storms from Iowa back through Nebraska into western Kansas. A few of these storms could become feisty enough to produce some 60-mile-an-hour winds early and also some quarter-size hail. It's really as we go toward the dinner time frame and into early this evening, we start to see some big storms erupt across western and eventually central Kansas. This is likely to evolve into a derecho, a progressive derecho, as it moves through the state of Kansas there in parts of northwestern Oklahoma. This is where we could have those 75 to 100 mile per hour wind gusts, those 2-inch or larger diameter hailstones, and also a few tornadoes on the leading edge of that system. The HRRR model has this weakening out early Monday morning. I don't quite buy this too much yet because the low-level jet will still be very strong before sunrise, so I think this may progress even into western Missouri before falling apart, but I do think that we eventually will see this derecho producing system fall apart as it moves into the Ozarks region as we go into early Monday morning. Let's look here as we go into Monday, because a new system is going to be moving in as well. We have a subtropical jet down here across this desert southwest. We have the polar jet dropping south as well. They're going to start to join forces on Monday, and then on Tuesday we see a very strong negatively tilted trough here with the eastern side of that trough looking very active, with the jet stream winds very active there across the plains, but also into parts of the Midwest. So looking here at Monday specifically, this is for tomorrow, May 20th, we do have a slight risk of severe weather for Nebraska, Kansas, into southwest Iowa and northwest Missouri, basically some of the same areas that are seeing the severe risk today. We also have a marginal risk up here into Michigan, into southern Wisconsin, Illinois, and parts of Missouri and Iowa that aren't in that slight risk as well. The main threat on Monday will be for 60 mile per hour wind gusts and some quarter size hail or larger at times, and also a few tornadoes. You can see a very big broad brushed area, 2% tornado risk from Michigan all the way back here to even Colorado. So we see a large area with the potential for an isolated tornado on Monday. Same setup here on Monday. I think Monday the atmosphere becomes a little bit more moist as we have more dynamics in the atmosphere with our new system. Dew points pressing into the upper 60s to near 70 all the way up there in Nebraska, southwest Iowa there in that slight risk area. That will contribute to 3,000 plus joules per kilogram instability values. That is strong energy, thunderstorm fuel, in which those storms can take advantage of that energy. So Monday morning, we start to see some remnants of those storms that we had with the derecho as we go through this evening into Monday morning. That will continue through portions of Missouri into Iowa. That will start to push east. We could see some reinvigorating storms from Milwaukee, Chicago, especially the western suburbs, so like Rockford, Illinois, down there toward Princeton, Illinois, keeping a close eye on that. Isolated coverage further west Monday afternoon. It's mainly Monday evening, so again, closer to dinner time and after dark, we'll start to see storms sparking off here across Nebraska, Iowa here. These could produce some 60 mile per hour wind gusts, some quarter size hail, slightly larger at times than that as well, and a couple of isolated tornadoes, and then a big flash flood maker potentially with training thunderstorms as we go into Nebraska and Iowa and northwestern Illinois as we go into early Tuesday morning before sunrise as a big cluster of storms moves through the same areas here for hours and hours overnight. And this is because we're seeing a lot of moisture moving up from the Gulf of Mexico and a lot of cooler air from the north. So kind of a squeeze play going on there. Something has to give. And you can see very heavy rainfall here from Nebraska into much of the state of Iowa there going from Monday into Tuesday. Some areas could be seeing 1 to 3 inches worth of rain just going into that time frame. And we're not done here. Another substantial severe weather outbreak is probable for Tuesday. We have a level 3 out of 5, a large level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk from southeastern Minnesota into southwest Wisconsin, western and northwest Illinois into much of Iowa, Missouri, and eastern Kansas, with a large area from a slight risk from the upper peninsula of Michigan all the way down here towards south central Oklahoma. So a large area with a severe risk there on Tuesday. Going into Wednesday, the cold front drops a little further southeast, so from Detroit, Toledo, all the way over here toward Cleveland, all the way back through Louisville, Kentucky, Paducah, all the way down through the Little Rock area, into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, maybe even Abilene, Texas. We'll see severe weather potential with that slight risk on Wednesday. Going into Thursday, same areas, Arklatex regions down here, Dallas-Fort Worth up to Oklahoma City, into Little Rock, and also Shreveport. We're keeping a close eye on you later next week into Thursday. So a lot of different rounds of severe weather will produce a lot of rainfall as well. So going through next Friday, on May 24th, very heavy rains from a swath from Nebraska up here through the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, into Wisconsin, and the upper peninsula of Michigan. Some of these areas could be seeing over 4 inches worth of rainfall going through Friday, May 24th. A secondary swath further south across Texas, Oklahoma, into much of the state of Arkansas, into the mid-Mississippi Valley areas here could be seeing 1 to 3 inches or more of rain through next Friday. So definitely watching out for that. We didn't even talk temperatures. That's how active it is with the severe weather. Looking at very warm, if not hot temperatures across the south central U.S. going through the work week next week between Monday, May 20th and Friday, May 24th. Colder anomalies out west. That's because we have a lot of those troughs coming in and that battleground in between. We have to watch for that severe weather, like I said, going into next week. And looking at this early week, look at all the heat out there, the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, all the way down into the Southern Plains, 80s, 90s, even triple digits down here into West Texas with the soil very dry. Temperatures tend to warm up quicker with drier soil. Going into midweek, you can see a cold front moves through, so we're going to start to see a little bit more of some cooler temperatures working into the Midwest and Great Lakes region for a time before the heat starts to surge back north later next week out ahead of another storm system. So just a never-ending cycle here with our severe weather and our temperatures. And going into late May here, the last week in May or so, Sunday, May 26th through Saturday, June 1st, that heat will be trapped across the south, really along the Gulf Coast and the southeast coast here. So Florida and Texas will be the hottest states going through the end of May. Near normal temperatures here in the white across the north. So the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Ohio Valley, and the Northeast, and even out across the Rockies will be pretty normal with our temperatures. The West Coast here from Washington State, the Cascades region, down through Oregon, California, and parts of southwestern Arizona will be below normal with our temperatures during this stretch of weather. And you can see very active weather during that stretch as well from Sunday, May 26th through Saturday, June 1st. More severe weather, more heavy rain looks likely from the southern plains into the central plains and eastward toward the eastern seaboard. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Folks, now is the time to subscribe to my channel to stay weather aware. We'll have daily weather videos on this channel. Another update tomorrow morning, so stay tuned on that. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up down below. Leave any comments, questions, and concerns below, and I'll get to those later on today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend out there.